Did you know that your breakfast might be silently cutting off blood flow to the very muscles and tissues that make you feel like a man? If you're over 60 and noticing weaker erections, numbness in your legs, low energy in the mornings, or even a dull heaviness in your lower body, I want you to know something important. It's not just age. And you are not broken. Hi, I'm Dr. Marissa Blake. I've spent over 15 years helping men across the country improve their urinary and sexual health, not through medication or surgery, but by understanding what their bodies are really asking for. And what I've learned from thousands of patients, countless conversations, and real results is this: your body wants to restore circulation. It wants to bring blood, oxygen, and energy back to your groin, your legs, and even your confidence. But it needs the right tools. And surprisingly, those tools are sitting in your kitchen. I'm talking about 5 simple morning foods, familiar foods you probably already know, but may have never used in the right way or at the right time. When eaten correctly, and especially within the first hour after waking, these foods can jumpstart blood flow down there, strengthen your pelvic muscles, and help you feel more grounded, steady, and alive. In today's video, I'll walk you through each of them. I'll share real patient stories, men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, who took small steps and saw big changes. And at the end, I'll show you how to combine these foods into a simple morning routine that feels good, tastes good, and actually works. Because here's the truth: you don't need to feel disconnected from your body. You don't need to give up on intimacy or strength. You just need to start your mornings differently. So, if that sounds like something worth fighting for, stay with me. Let's begin with the first reason breakfast matters more than you think, especially after 60. Let me ask you something. What did you eat this morning? A quick cup of coffee? Maybe a slice of toast, if you remembered? Or nothing at all? For most men over 60, breakfast becomes an afterthought. But for your body, and especially your lower body, those first 60 minutes after waking are critical. You see, while you sleep, your body goes into a state of fasting. Your muscles haven't had fuel for 8 to 10 hours. Your blood vessels are quiet. Your pelvic floor, the muscles that support your groin, bladder, and sexual function, are running on empty. And what you eat in the first hour of your day can either wake those systems up gently or keep them shut down. Here's what I mean. After 60, circulation naturally slows. That's normal. But what many men don't realize is that slow circulation hits down there first. Why? Because the blood vessels in your groin and pelvic area are smaller and more delicate. They're among the first to lose elasticity with age, and the first to suffer when we don't nourish them properly. Now imagine skipping breakfast, or eating something sugary or processed. You're asking your body to perform, to walk, think, function, even be intimate, without giving it the nutrients it needs to do so. That's like expecting a car to run smoothly without fuel in the tank. But here's the hopeful part. With the right foods, eaten at the right time, you can reactivate circulation naturally. You can tell your arteries, it's time to open up. You can tell your muscles, help is on the way. And you can tell your nervous system, you're safe. You can relax. I had a patient once, Thomas, 67, who told me he felt completely disconnected from his lower body. His legs felt heavy, his groin was numb, and intimacy? It's like I'm not even there, he said. We didn't start with a prescription. We started with breakfast. I explained how his body was waking up each day starving for support, and how the first meal of the day sends a powerful signal: let the blood flow begin. He started eating differently, simple changes. And within a few weeks, he came back with tears in his eyes. I feel awake again, he said. Not just in my head, but in my whole body. This is what's possible when you understand how food talks to your body. Breakfast isn't just about calories. It's about circulation. It's about connection. And for many men, it's about confidence. So before we dive into the 5 specific foods I recommend, foods that target the muscles, vessels, and nerves that support your manhood, I want you to remember this. The first hour of your morning sets the tone for your entire day. It's not just what you eat, it's when you eat it and why. And now that you know the why, let me show you what to eat. Because the first ingredient, the first morning ally for your circulation, might already be sitting quietly in your fridge. Let's begin. Let's start with something simple. Something you've probably had in your fridge for years, but maybe never realized how powerful it really is. Plain yogurt. Yes, just plain, unsweetened yogurt, no fancy label, no added fruit, no sugar swirl. Just the real thing. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, yogurt? That's more of a snack, isn't it? Or maybe, isn't that just for digestion? But let me tell you, plain yogurt is one of the most underrated circulation boosters for men over 60. Let me explain why. As we age, the blood vessels around the groin and pelvic floor, the ones that support your erections, bladder control, and even your balance, begin to lose strength. At the same time, inflammation quietly builds in the body, narrowing those vessels, reducing oxygen, and making you feel weaker down there. That's where yogurt comes in. Plain yogurt contains 3 critical nutrients your lower body is craving: probiotics. These healthy bacteria help reduce inflammation in the gut, which in turn lowers inflammation throughout the bloodstream, including around the prostate and pelvic floor. Protein, essential for rebuilding and maintaining the small, deep muscles that support urination and sexual function. These muscles often weaken quietly with age. Calcium, important for muscle contraction and nerve signaling, helping the pelvic muscles stay strong and responsive. Now let me tell you about James. James was 65 when he came to see me. He was frustrated, embarrassed. He said, "Doc, I haven't had a morning erection in years. I don't feel like myself anymore." We looked at his blood work, reviewed his lifestyle, and one thing stood out. He never ate breakfast. Maybe a cup of coffee, sometimes toast. That was it. So I gave him a simple challenge. Every morning for 4 weeks, eat 1 bowl of plain yogurt. If he liked, he could add a drizzle of honey or a few blackberries, but nothing artificial. He agreed. For weeks later, I picked up the phone and heard his voice, full of disbelief and joy. "Doc," he said, "I woke up this morning and I felt like I was 40 again." We both laughed, but it was real. His body had finally gotten what it needed, the tools to heal. And it all started with something as simple as yogurt. If you're a man over 60 and you're not eating plain yogurt in the morning, I want you to consider this. Your body might be trying to repair itself, to bring back blood flow, to rebuild strength, to reconnect you with who you used to be, but it can't do that without the right support. So tomorrow morning, open that fridge. Scoop out 1 bowl of plain yogurt. Take your time. Let it nourish you. Because this isn't just food, it's recovery. And we're just getting started. Up next, a warm, satisfying grain that helps clear your arteries and open the path for blood to flow freely again. Let's talk about quinoa. Every time a man over 60 comes into my office complaining of poor circulation, whether it's weak erections, cold legs, or that heavy, dragging feeling in the lower body, I always ask the same question: what do you eat for breakfast? And more often than not, the answer sounds something like, "Oh, just cereal. Maybe a muffin." Sometimes, nothing. It's no surprise, really. We've been conditioned to think that breakfast should be quick, sweet, and light. But for a man whose circulation is slowing down, that kind of meal just won't cut it anymore. Instead, I recommend something simple, warm, satisfying, and proven to open your arteries from the inside out. A bowl of quinoa topped with almonds. Yes, quinoa, the tiny seed that cooks like a grain, is one of nature's best tools for keeping blood vessels healthy and flexible. Here's why. Quinoa is rich in magnesium, a mineral that relaxes the smooth muscles around your arteries, allowing blood to flow more easily, especially to your groin and legs. It also contains fiber, which helps clear out plaque and lower inflammation in your blood vessels. Now add almonds, and something powerful happens. Almonds are packed with vitamin E, which protects your arteries from oxidative damage healthy fats, which reduce internal inflammation L-arginine, a compound that supports nitric oxide. The same pathway your body uses to achieve an erection. Put these together, and you've got a breakfast that doesn't just fill your stomach. It clears the path for your blood to move where it needs to go. Let me share a story. Robert, 69, had been retired for 3 years when he came to me. He said, "Doc, I feel like my body's just slowing down. I get winded on stairs, my legs feel heavy, and let's just say intimacy hasn't been happening. I asked about his breakfast. He shrugged. A sugary cereal and orange juice. So we made one change. Every morning, he swapped his cereal for a bowl of warm quinoa, topped with a handful of almonds, a sprinkle of blueberries, and a dash of cinnamon. Nothing fancy, just real food. 2 weeks later, he called me, amazed. "Doc, my legs feel lighter. I have more energy." And I slept through the night for the first time in months. And by the end of the month, he smiled and said, "Let's just say my wife's been noticing the difference, too." That's the power of feeding your circulation. So tomorrow morning, try it. Cook some quinoa in water or milk, warm and soft. Add almonds sliced, crushed, however you like. If you want, toss in a few berries or cinnamon for flavor. Let it be a ritual. Let it remind your body that it's safe to open up again. That blood flow is coming. That healing is possible. Because what you eat in the morning shapes how your entire body feels the rest of the day. And if you're ready for something even stronger, a fruit that works like a natural Viagra, without the side effects, you're going to love what's coming next. Let's talk about pomegranate. Now, this next food might surprise you. It's not a supplement. It's not a drug. And no, it's not some exotic superfood from halfway across the world. It's a fruit you've probably seen at the grocery store for years, maybe at a holiday party or tucked into a fancy salad. I'm talking about pomegranate. Yes, this bright red fruit, bursting with tiny juicy seeds, might just be the most powerful circulation booster most men are ignoring. Let me explain why. Pomegranate is packed with polyphenol, powerful antioxidants that help your body produce nitric oxide, the compound that tells your blood vessels to relax and open up. If that sounds familiar, it should. It's the same mechanism used by popular erectile dysfunction medications. But instead of using pills, you're using food. And the effects? They can be felt fast. I remember my patient Michael, 63, proud father of 3, recently retired. He looked at me and said, "Doc, I thought this was just what happens after 60. I didn't expect to feel invisible." We talked about circulation and how low blood flow to the pelvic area can affect not just function, but sensation and even confidence. I asked him to try one small thing. Each morning, before breakfast, drink 6 ounces of pure pomegranate juice, or eat a handful of fresh pomegranate seeds. He raised an eyebrow. That's it. I nodded. No sugar added. No blends. Just pomegranate. 2 weeks later, he called me. "I don't know what's happening, but I feel alive. Like something's waking up down there." We both laughed, but he wasn't joking. The polyphenol were doing their job, opening up blood vessels, restoring sensitivity, and giving his lower body the oxygen and nutrients it had been missing for years. And it didn't stop there. His energy improved. He slept better. His posture even changed. He wasn't dragging through the day anymore. He was standing taller. That's what happens when you give your body natural support at the right time. Now, here's how to use pomegranate properly. Drink 4 to 6 ounces of 100% pure juice in the morning, ideally before eating anything else. Or eat a small bowl of fresh seeds. Even just 1/4 of a pomegranate is enough. Avoid the sugar-loaded blends or flavored drinks. They cancel out the benefit. And here's a tip. If the seeds feel like too much work, try prepackaged fresh seeds from the produce section. Just make sure they're not soaked in syrup. Because when you nourish your arteries in the morning, your whole day changes, especially where it matters most. So far, we've talked about 3 powerful foods: plain yogurt, to rebuild muscles; quinoa with almonds, to clean your arteries; and now pomegranate, to ignite nitric oxide and support strong blood flow. But if you're still feeling imbalanced, heavy, or slow to get going in the morning, the next food might be what your nervous system is crying out for. Let's talk about the healthy fat that stabilizes everything, including circulation, blood pressure, and nerve function. It's time for avocado with olive oil. Of all the foods I recommend to my patients, this is the one that gets the most surprised reactions. They look at me and say, "Avocado? For circulation." And I smile because I understand their doubt. Most men think of avocado as trendy, something for millennials, not something that could help them walk more steadily, feel more awake, or even perform better in the bedroom. But the truth is, avocado, especially when paired with a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil, is one of the most powerful foods you can eat for lower body circulation and nerve health. Let me explain why. When you wake up in the morning, your blood vessels are tight, your muscles are depleted, and your nervous system is still adjusting from sleep. This is when your body is most vulnerable to pressure, tightness, and numbness, especially in your legs and groin. But when you give your body the right kind of fat, you're giving it what it needs to stay soft, flexible, and strong. Avocados are full of monounsaturated fats, the kind that keep your arteries flexible and reduce inflammation throughout the body. They're also rich in potassium, which helps regulate blood pressure and supports smooth muscle function, crucial for controlling the muscles in your pelvic floor and bladder. Now, let's add olive oil to the mix. Extra virgin olive oil contains oleocanthal, a natural anti-inflammatory compound that supports blood flow and protects nerve endings, especially those that weaken with age. Together, avocado and olive oil don't just support circulation. They stabilize your entire lower body. Let me tell you about William. He was 72 and had been struggling with heavy, stiff legs in the morning. He told me, "Doc, I have to lean on the nightstand just to get to the bathroom." He had tried stretching, massage, even medication, but nothing helped. So I suggested something simple. Each morning, before his regular breakfast, mash half an avocado in a bowl. Drizzle it with a teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil. Add a pinch of salt and lemon if you wanted. Eat it slowly with a small slice of whole grain toast or on its own. 3 days later, he called. "Doc," he said, "I don't know what's happening, but my legs feel lighter. I'm not holding onto the furniture anymore." It wasn't a miracle. It was nutrition, timed right, and done consistently. That's what real healing looks like. So if you've been feeling off balance in the morning, if your lower body feels weak, tight, or numb, this small change could become your stabilizer. Just one creamy half of an avocado, a little golden olive oil. Nothing fancy, just what your body has been quietly asking for. And if you want to take things even further, if you're ready for one final food that supports both blood vessels and muscle strength with just a handful a day, let's finish strong with a dark, powerful fruit you might be overlooking. It's time for blackberries. Now that we've covered foods that restore blood flow, rebuild muscle, and relax your blood vessels, there's one last ingredient I want you to know about. It's small, it's dark, and it's often sitting in the produce aisle, quietly waiting to be noticed. Blackberries. These little berries aren't just a sweet topping for cereal or yogurt. They're one of the most powerful natural tools for men over 60 who want to feel stronger, more balanced, and more connected, both physically and intimately. Let me explain why. Blackberries are packed with anthocyanins, a group of antioxidants that help strengthen blood vessels and improve their elasticity. In simple terms, they help your arteries become more flexible, more responsive, and better at delivering oxygen where it matters most. But that's not all. Blackberries are also high in vitamin C, which helps your body produce collagen, the protein that keeps your tissues firm and your blood vessels resilient. And they contain fiber, which supports healthy blood sugar and gut function, both critical for hormone balance and prostate health. Now, let me introduce you to David. David was 66 when he came to see me. He wasn't dealing with major medical issues, but he felt something many men his age feel, a slow fading of energy, especially in the mornings. He told me, "Doc, I don't feel sick, but I don't feel strong either. I feel dull." We looked at his habits. He wasn't eating breakfast most days, and when he did, it was just toast or coffee. So I made one tiny suggestion. Each morning, add a handful of fresh or frozen blackberries to whatever he was eating. Mix them into yogurt. Add them to oatmeal. Or just eat them plain with a spoon. He agreed. It was easy enough. 1 week later, he came back with a smile on his face. "I don't know what's in those berries," he said, "but I feel lighter. I walk faster. I feel more aware." And yes, he even mentioned feeling more sensation down there. That's what happens when you give your body what it's been missing. The anthocyanins in blackberries support the tiny blood vessels around your groin and pelvic muscles, areas that are often neglected but deeply important for confidence and function. So here's your tip. Eat half a cup of fresh or frozen blackberries in the morning. Add them to your plain yogurt. Or blend them into a smoothie with spinach, banana, and almond milk. If you can't find fresh berries, frozen ones are just as good, and sometimes even better, because they're picked at peak ripeness. Let them thaw slightly, then enjoy. Because food isn't just about nutrition. It's about activation. It's about reminding your body what it's capable of. And with that, we've now covered 5 powerful morning foods that help restore blood flow, support muscle tone, reduce inflammation, and bring back that spark of vitality. But knowing what to eat is only half the battle. In the next section, I'll show you how to use these foods in real life, how to build your own breakfast routine that's simple, satisfying, and easy to stick with. Let's keep going. Now that you've learned about these 5 powerful foods, plain yogurt, quinoa with almonds, pomegranate, avocado with olive oil, and blackberries, let's talk about how to actually use them in your daily life. Because knowledge without action doesn't change anything. The good news is this isn't complicated. You don't need to become a chef, buy a new blender, or change your whole lifestyle overnight. You just need to start your morning with purpose. Here are a few simple combinations you can try tomorrow. Option 1, a bowl of plain yogurt with blackberries and a drizzle of honey. Enjoy a small glass of pomegranate juice before eating. This combo fights inflammation, supports your blood vessels, and boosts morning energy. Option 2, warm quinoa topped with sliced almonds, cinnamon, and blueberries. Add half an avocado on the side, drizzled with olive oil. This is a full, grounding meal that cleans arteries, stabilizes blood sugar, and supports nerve health. Option 3, make a smoothie, plain yogurt, a handful of blackberries, 1/2 banana, and a splash of pomegranate juice. Add a tablespoon of ground almonds for texture. Perfect for days when you're in a hurry but still want real nourishment. And remember, eat within 1 hour of waking up. Use real, whole ingredients. Don't worry about perfection. Consistency is what matters most. You don't have to do all 5 foods every day. Just pick one to start with tomorrow. And with each small choice, you'll begin to notice something. Your legs feel lighter. Your mornings feel smoother. And yes, your confidence returns. In the final section, I'll leave you with a few closing thoughts and a gentle challenge to help you take that first step toward reclaiming your circulation, energy, and independence. Let's finish together. If you've made it this far, it tells me something important. You care. You're not giving up. You're still in the fight. And the good news is now you have tools. Not pills. Not promises, but real, simple foods your body already knows how to use. Plain yogurt, quinoa with almonds, pomegranate, avocado with olive oil, blackberries. Each one supports your circulation, your strength, and your sense of self, especially in the areas that matter most. But tools only work when you pick them up. So here's my gentle challenge. Tomorrow morning, choose one. Just one. Make a small bowl of yogurt. Slice half an avocado. Pour a glass of pomegranate juice. Whatever feels doable, just do it. Because change doesn't happen all at once. It happens in small, quiet moments repeated day by day until your body remembers how strong it truly is. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start. If this video helped you, let me know in the comments. Type 1 if it resonated. Type 0 if not. Your feedback helps me create better content for men like you. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications because you deserve to keep learning, healing, and thriving. This isn't the end. It's the beginning. Your next chapter starts at breakfast.